A few months ago, I reviewed the Stealth 600 by Turtle Beach. This is a feature-rich gaming headset that aims to bring a lot of innovative features to the table. Well, earlier this month, they released the Stealth 300, which is a little brother to the larger Stealth 600 and 700. This one aims to bring all those same features down to a more attractive price point by making it wired. But is what we're left with still worth it? It was revealed at E3 earlier this year and released at the beginning of this month. There are two versions of this headset, one for the Xbox One, one for the PlayStation 4. There are minor differences between them that make them slightly better optimized for their respective consoles, but if you have both of those consoles, by no means do you need to buy both versions of the headset. The Xbox One is green, the PlayStation 1 is blue, and at that point, just pick the one that you think is more attractive looking. And both of these will also work for PC and the Nintendo Switch. The build is almost identical to the Stealth 600 and Stealth 700, however there is no more glossy plastic on the exterior of the ear cups, which in my opinion is a plus. Instead, there's a glossy material around the actual material that touches your ear, and this replaces the accent color that was on the previous version and less likely to be marked up with fingerprints. And the little exposed piece of plastic that reveals itself when you enlarge the headset is now that accent color. So overall, this version is a little more stealthy, and I like it. It has a lot of the same features such as the 50mm drivers, the Pro Specs glasses-friendly ear cup design, and built-in EQ presets. And those presets are bass boost, signature sound, bass and treble boost, and vocal boost. It also likewise supports Dolby Atmos and Windows Sonic Surround if you'd like to bring surround sound to your gaming experience. However, where it departs from its bigger brothers is how it connects to the console. As I mentioned, this is a wired version, so it comes with a 3.5mm jack that plugs in directly to your controller, which I guess you can argue is slightly less convenient, but that's really the only major difference. Unlike a lot of wired gaming headsets, this actually needs to be charged. It comes with a micro USB to USB charging cable for when you're running low on juice. Now, I know you're probably wondering, if it's wired, why do you need to recharge it? I mean, I've reviewed tons of headsets on this channel that are connected to the controller via 3.5mm jack and they sound great. Why does this one need to be charged? Well, it's because it has those EQ presets. There's some sort of internal amplification going on, and I assume whatever power draw is coming from the controller is not sufficient to create that sound signature. So for that reason, it has to have an internal battery. It's a 900 milliamp hour battery that again connects via micro USB, and you can get roughly 30 to 40 hours of playtime on a single charge, which is a fair amount of time. It's about 3 to 4 times longer than what you should expect from the larger Stealth 600 and 700. But there is one glaring oversight here. There's no battery dead mode. Once you run out of juice, which admittedly takes a while, but once you do, you have to recharge it. And that, to me, if you're dealing with the inconvenience of a wire, you don't want to also deal with the inconveniences of a wireless headset. It's like it has the inconveniences of both designs, and I think that's kind of a major oversight. And on the left ear cup, you'll find its own independent volume control, so you don't have to go into the game settings to do it. And it's also not on the cable itself. I hate when headsets put the volume knob on the cable because you can never find it when you need to. Having it right there on the back of the headset seems like a much more appropriate place. The microphone is pretty middle of the road for something in this price category. You can hear there's definitely a little bit of grainy noise in the background. When I stop talking, it cuts off the recording, which is nice because it stops recording all that grainy noise as well. But as soon as I start talking again, you can hear it. It's not a huge deal, not a deal breaker. You can understand me perfectly fine, and ultimately that is the purpose of a gaming headset, is to be able to relay information. As long as you can understand the person on the other end and they can understand you, then you're good to go. And this also does feature the flip up to mute functionality. So there's that. It does have mic monitoring, which I think is a critical feature to have. This one, you can hear yourself, but you can also adjust exactly how much you hear yourself. When I review a gaming headset, there are 3 things that I look for. One is the microphone, which we already discussed. It's probably the least important of the 3. The second is comfort. If you're going to be using this for any extended period of time, you want to make sure it's comfortable. And in this case, it is pretty good. It's not any more or less comfortable than the Stealth 600, so I guess for an $80 headset, it's all right. I do wish it was a little bit deeper. Admittedly, my ears might stick out a little bit more than yours. For that reason, my ears make contact with the interior of that ear cup. I would have appreciated it if it was a little bit deeper. And I also found my ears getting much toastier than I'd expect them to. This appears like a very breathable material. A lot of times this is something you experience with leather headsets. While they do a great job of isolating noise, they also make your ears really hot, and that gets uncomfortable and sweaty, and it sticks to the side of your head. This is a cloth material, so I expected them to breathe really well, but they really don't. They still get pretty warm after a while. However, I can say that Pro Specs glasses friendly feature isn't a gimmick. It really works. I have a $250 headset that I use pretty regularly, and I have to admit, it's pretty inconvenient having to take off my headset, put my glasses on, and then put the headset back on and do the process in reverse when I want to take everything off. With this, I can very easily put on and remove my glasses without having to remove the headset. Unless you're a regular glasses wearer, that you probably wouldn't even consider that, but I can say it does actually work, as gimmicky as it sounds. And then sound quality is, of course, in my opinion, the most important feature of a gaming headset, and for $80, this thing definitely delivers. The bass is definitely powerful, and unlike historic Turtle Beach headsets, it doesn't drown out everything else that you're listening for. Now, when you have a gaming headset on, you're typically listening for very tiny audio cues that'll give you an edge. And historically with Turtle Beach headsets, their sound signature is so bass heavy that it just drowns out everything. This does a pretty impressive job of delivering punchy and satisfying bass while still letting you hear those less obvious audio cues. I have to say though, honestly, those audio presets, the EQ presets I mentioned, don't really make much of a difference in my opinion. The bass boost is probably the most significant difference, but again, you start getting into that territory where it's just too powerful. I'd really only use that if you are listening to a bass heavy, track, like a music track that you want to listen to that bass in. I wouldn't recommend using that in game. The choice between the Stealth 600 and Stealth 300 really comes down to how important wireless convenience is to you. For me personally, I've never really understood the purpose of wireless headsets on console, considering the almost negligible distance between your headset and the controller. I've never found plugging in that 2-foot-long cable any less convenient than connecting a wireless headset. You can make an argument on PC that it's more convenient, but on console, I don't really think it is. So I'm happy to save that $20, but still get all the rest of those awesome features I talked about. Not to mention, the Stealth 300 via a 3.5mm jack is more compatible with other devices. So for the money, I would say the 300 is a better value. If I were in the market for a headset in this price category, I would go with the Stealth 300, but there are other devices out there in this same price bracket. It's a very populated segment of the market. There are other devices out there that I think are good options as well. Well, thanks again for watching. If you guys appreciate this video, then don't forget to give it a like. And if you want to purchase this device for yourself, then go ahead and follow my affiliate links down in the video description. And while you're down there, don't forget to enter our giveaway. This month, we're giving away a Raspberry Pi microcomputer. We recently used one to make a Raspberry Pi NES console. That was a lot of fun. And if you want to see some of the competitors to this set of earphones, then I recommend watching our other videos here, and make sure you're subscribed so you know when our future content is ready to watch. And I'll see you guys in the next one.